Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. I'd like to talk about something that I think is very important, and it has to do with the question, can a Muslim woman be on video? And there are many opinions on this, and of course the strongest and the safest one is that it's better for a woman not to show her face to public. If she has, for sure, if she is going to be using a video for entertainment or selling something or whatever it is that she has to show her face, I would say this is definitely not suitable. It's not proper. I am just going to talk about why I am on social media and for how long this has been happening. I come to Islam about 30 years ago. At that time, the video and internet, I didn't have any of that stuff. So, Northern California, that's where I lived, and I try to do as much as I can to bring the awareness of Islam to other people, to non-Muslims. I spoke in high schools, universities, churches, and of course, I was not a trained public speaker. I could sometimes feel my sweat was dripping from my back, my knees were shaking. I was not a public speaker, but I was so incredibly excited to come to the true religion after years of searching, after joining Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, 7.5 years, and finding that there's idolatry, some forms of idolatry, worshipping other than Allah somehow creeps into these religions, and I kept saying, no, this is not for me, and I found Islam the only religion that is pure monotheism. So it's like I'm grabbing onto Islam like my life depends on it. Like I said, this is like 30 years ago. With the little bit of ability that I had, I did whatever I could to talk about Islam. And when I saw this, many years went by, I'm a mother, I carry my kids here and there, give a lecture, and 9/11 happened, and it seems like the whole world became anti-Islamic, and all the propaganda, the US media, everything was about Muslim terrorists, and even before they knew who did the 9/11, nobody claimed it yet. It was like the Muslims. And I'm hearing all of this, and my blood is boiling. And why? What can I do? What should be done? So I decided to go back to university. When I first went to US, migrated there in 1969, I did some university studies, and after that I left it because I was working with my brothers. I was making good money. I didn't care to have any degree. So nearly 30 years later, I decide I need to have information, I need to have knowledge about mass media, about journalism, about public speaking, about website, about internet, about everything, filming, everything I wanted to know. By then I'm in my late 50s, so I went back to the university, got my bachelor's degree in United States journalism, mass communication, and then I decided to get my master's degree. Excuse me. Then I went to Egypt, because American University in Cairo, they offered journalism, mass communication, and TV journalism there, and by then I really wanted to make a migration. This was going to be hijrah for me from a non-Muslim country to a Muslim country. Wanted to migrate, I wanted to get my master's degree, I wanted to learn Arabic, I wanted to improve my Islam, and so I moved actually to, it's not I traveled, I moved with the intention of migration to Egypt. And there I got 2 master's degree, and journalism, mass communication, and TV journalism. I was very active, and of course getting a master's degree at my age was very difficult because English still and will never be my first language, although it looks like it is now my first language, because Farsi was my first language. And difficult to study, difficult to understand, difficult for me to do a master's degree. It's a lot of work, doing research, doing a lot, but I would work 13, 14 hours a day to learn and to pass my exams. In fact, the camera studio, the men that were working there as they were just a staff, they said, we have never seen anybody spending 14, 15, 16 hours a day in the studio, in the camera room, because I didn't know anything about filming. I didn't even know how to turn on the camera. So I tried very, very hard to learn how to film and edit. And we had camera they give us, would just go on the campus and film and practice. And of course that was very, very primitive, still primitive. I remember in one of the classes it was a voice class. This lady was an American instructor, and she told us that next time you come, put on like a warm-up suit, something comfortable, because you're going to be laying on the floor. I'm going to be teaching you how to deal with the voice and everything else. Well, I had for years wearing jilbab, or you call it abaya or juba, all the way, head to toe. My hijab is like this, and then my clothes are long. The next class, she asked me why I didn't wear these things, pants and a shirt. I said, I will never do that. I said, that's my religion wants me, it requires me to dress properly. She said, if you don't do it, you cannot take this class. I said, we will see about that. I walked out, went straight to the principal. I said, this is against American law. I am an American. She's an American. This is an American university. She is telling me to do something which is against my religion. So the principal was, really surprised, and he said, what do you suggest? I said, either fire her, or give me a different class that the credit would apply towards my master's degree. This man knew, the principal knew I know my American laws in regards to discrimination. But a lot of people, if this would happen to be Egyptian woman, she would probably take off maybe to comply with her. So this became a huge deal, to a point where the person who's in charge of our department came and said, Raya, you got us into trouble. What can we do to please you? I said, she needs to be fired. She's been here for 15 years. She knows Islam. She knows about Islam. She's doing this to other people. I'm the one that's defending myself. But what about other people? Anyhow, they agreed to let me work with an American journalist, which is a CNN journalist, had just come for a 6-month visit at the university. I said, okay, let me work with him one-to-one. They agreed. My point was, it's like I was day and night working to educate myself so I can be active in mass media. And again, I'm very beginner, even though I have a foreign correspondent, a cameraman, somebody excellent that's working with me. I'm still, I'm in the alphabet period. Anyhow, after that, I graduated in 2007 from American University. And I was very active there. I ended up working with Islam Online, which happened to be at that time the largest Islamic website in the world. And I was editor-in-chief for a section called Reading Islam, which deals with new Muslims and non-Muslims. So I was there for a while, and I was very active, giving talks and lectures and different places, but yet not, I was still not active in like YouTube or anything like this, just lectures. Eventually I had to move from Egypt, unfortunately, which I didn't want to, the political situation in Egypt made it unsafe for foreigners to stay there, and I had to move. And the best choice, Muslim country, and something that was suitable for me was Malaysia. So I moved to Malaysia. Again, that's another hijrah I made to Malaysia. And in Malaysia, I found there are millions of tourists come to this island Langkawi, where I decided to settle. And millions of tourists come here and they do not hear anything about Islam. I went to Islamic Affairs office. I said, what are you doing to tell them something about Islam? They said, nothing. We don't have the ability. We don't speak the language. I said, okay, I'll do it. Just give me the permission. I know if you don't have a permission and you're a foreigner and you start calling people to Islam, they just, kick you out. So they gave me permission. And I said, I am not asking for money, I'm not asking anything, all I need is permission. Fine, they were just very nice, very welcoming. And I started active, and I opened the Islamic Center first, Quran class, teaching mothers and children, Quran. And reaching out to any place that I can. I would go to the tourist areas. We're not supposed to solicit into tourist areas, but I would find, some ways, somebody, would you like to take a picture of me or a film, and I start a communication with them. Before you know it, we're usually women. Then I invite them to my house. Sometimes I invite them to stay. Sometimes I invite them for food. And alhamdulillah, I've had some conversion this way, and as well as continuous communication with the people who left the island, who are very open to Islam. Some of you may have seen my activities on Facebook. You see me with foreigners all the time, communicating with them about Islam. A lot, I've done that a lot. And I have been putting things on YouTube because I felt this is a very good tool. YouTube and Facebook, some things are on YouTube are not on Facebook, vice versa. So I am reaching out a lot, and I have like 4,000 subscribers in my channel, which is rayaforislam.com, the YouTube channel. Close to 1 million views. I have interviewed some people who are American or European that came to Islam, and my own attorney. I think there may be 270,000 people who viewed that topic, my attorney. So I am finding that I am making a huge difference being on the YouTube or on Facebook. Sometimes I show my face, sometimes I'm just do the writing. But I noticed that by having a face out there, it is making a difference. In my work, it's making a difference. Plus, I am 73 years old. I do not decorate myself. I make up, and sometimes people wear hijab and there's all kinds of pretty things and shiny things all over their hijab and the makeup and the lipstick. That I really feel is inappropriate. Even if I were 20, 30, 40 years younger, I would not use makeup to beautify myself and color and everything else in order to look better on YouTube. What is my purpose? I ask myself, why would I do that? So, to finish my communication, why women should be on Facebook, a person should have to ask, they should ask themselves, what is the purpose? Why am I on YouTube? Am I pleasing Allah by doing this, or am I displeasing Him? This is a very simple question we can ask, and we don't have to discuss it with anybody else. We can easily get the answer. I hope this clarifies my point here. And again, just remember, I am not advocating women to be on YouTube. I just said there are very special occasion, situation when a woman can. And if you see me again, remember I'm like your mother, your grandmother for some of you, and I feel I have no choice in the matter. Dawah, calling people to Islam, is in my blood, has been in my blood for many years. I have no choice in the matter. I see a foreigner out there, I feel like I need to reach out. I cannot do anything about it. I have to do it. But Alhamdulillah, I see very good result from it. And I hope that all of you also reach out in any way you can. Use the internet, use the media to reach out any way that you can. For sure, you don't have to be on the YouTube or Facebook. Try to reach out and give the message of Islam to the world. The world is mentally, morally bankrupt without Islam. It is our job to do it. So make that be your aim, and please forgive me if I talked too long. I just needed to complete my communication. Wishing you have a nice day, a nice evening. Inshallah, talk to you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.